Okay, let's learn about printing and formatted print in Rust. Printing in Rust works through a series of macros. So what are macros? Well, we're going to go deep into macros later, but for now, just for context, macros essentially allow us to invent our own syntax. So we write code that does what? Well, it writes more code, okay? It's called meta programming. And you can create syntactic sugars that make your code shorter, make it easier to use libraries. So if that's a little confusing, just consider it as a toolbox of code that you created, and then that code actually writes more code. And it may sound like you're overcomplicating things, but actually, as we're going to see, it's quite the opposite. So macro is defined with preprocessor directive. Remember, what does that mean? It means that the macros that get processed before the program compiles. So they're VIP. They're VIP. Functions, remember, are not VIP. They are not preprocessed. They're compiled. Now, what are the formatting macros we're talking about? And remember, the macros are denoted with this bang. So format, this is one type of macro. And we can write text to string with format. Print, that's another macro. Println, which we saw in our function before with hello world. Same thing as print, but a new line gets appended. Okay, then there's eprint, eprintln. Now the E is for error, so the text is printed to a standard error format. Okay, then we have the same thing with eprintline. All right, it's just a new line gets appended, and we don't need this for now, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, so let's look at some examples together and then give you an exercise.